If you're having suicidal thoughts or feelings or feel like you have no hope, please call 988. There, you can talk to someone who not only cares about your story, but cares about you. Please reach out today. Thomas P. Murphy once said, "Minutes are worth more than money. Spend them wisely." At Minutes Wisely, we take that to heart. Our mission is to decrease veteran suicide by providing life-changing experiences for veterans, first responders, and Gold Star families. We believe that we can make a lasting impact by rekindling a sense of purpose and fostering community through sponsored tickets to sporting events. These experiences are not just about the game, they're about the moments that can change lives. A simple sporting event can boost joy and instill a sense of renewed hope and purpose for those who have served. Join us in making a difference, become a moment maker, and empower a veteran with rediscovered hope. Visit minuteswisely.com for more information and to get involved. Together, we can make every moment count.
I can hear it. I can listen to that every day, man. Every day.
Yes, it never gets old. Welcome to another episode of TSP. Richard and Andrew are here with Brandon. How you doing, Brandon?
Doing great. Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's our pleasure, man. Thanks for coming on.
You're the man, dude. You're the man.
Before we get started, again, I've been in contact with DJ Daniels' family, and every day I get a little bit closer to having him come on a trip with us, so stay tuned for that. That's pretty much all I got. As soon as that date gets locked down, I'll be doing a fundraiser for it. Help this little guy out and his father, who is a veteran, flat top sailor. That's all I got. Mr. Andrew, I know you got Ton Tavern. Let's do it.
Okay. Well, man, you must be tired. Are you tired today, Fleek?
I mean, not really. I'm good.
No? Okay.
I was just on Ton Tavern. I was signing up for the 1775.
Oh, you are? Oh, yeah. He's doing it. See, guys? It works. This works.
Got my wallet right here.
Without further ado, guys, people out there in TSP land, I want to introduce you to a really, really good friend of mine. I've known him for fucking ever. I've known him since 2004. SOI.
I want to know, was he there when you got drunk and you got yelled at?
Yes, he was.
Sounds like a Tuesday morning.
Yes, he was.
Brains.
Yes, he was. He was there. He was there when I got caught drunk outside of Camp Fallujah. Remember that, Brandon?
Yes.
All the packages had to get searched because of me. Okay? That is my claim to fame. But I've known Brandon for a long time, and he is a stellar Marine. He's a good man. He's done a lot of shit. I got out in 2008. He stayed in for way longer and did a lot of cool stuff, and he's going to be talking about it tonight. So, Brandon, please, thank you for being here, and take it away. This is your show now, man.
Awesome. And again, Andrew, Richard, thank you guys for having me on your podcast. It means so much. And as Andrew was saying, it's been some time. 2004 brings back a lot of memories, man. There was during the time of service that Andrew and I spent together was probably some of the most chaotic conflict in our generation, without a doubt.
Yep.
I kind of give you a little bit of storyline of kind of how I grew up in the Marine Corps and kind of what brought me to the Marine Corps. But I joined probably similar idea to what most did during that time, which was after the facts of 9/11. Witnessing that and wanting to make an impact on what we thought at the time was the right thing to do for our country. And one of the quickest routes that I predicted and forecasted myself seeing was joining the infantry as a machine gunner.
Hoorah!
And went in through boot camp in 2004 and went through SOI and probably found the quickest track into a combat theater that was what was possible. So the summer of 2004 is when I went to boot camp on June 20th at Parris Island, South Carolina, and found myself 2084.
You were 2080. I was 2081.
20. That's yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. 2084.
We were just in a
That's
different.
right.
We were just in a. We were the
You
same.
were in lead or follow? I can't remember.
Follow, I think.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't remember 2/3 of the stuff in boot camp. As a matter of fact, I was jumping a little ahead of myself. I found that out real quick when I became a first sergeant. The drill was not a a top thing I had in my back pocket. But anyways, yeah.
NJPs, lots of NJPs for first sergeant.
So so 2004. Came into boot camp that summer, found myself in Fallujah late November, early December of 2004. Like that type of time spectrum was really quick. 3rd Battalion, 8th Marines, was with Weapons Company and was a machine gunner on a gun truck. And we, at that first deployment, we had an area of operation that was massive. It was probably like 200, 300 square miles. Absolutely massive. Pretty much from everything from Fallujah, the western side of Fallujah, all the way to the green zone of Baghdad, all the way north into Karma, all the way south into Zion. Just this massive block.
Yep.
And all we did was just drive around circles. And leaving Camp Fallujah, drive around circles. And just patrolling the streets, making sure that those routes were clear and allowed supply flow to come through from Baghdad into Fallujah. Several vehicle checkpoints, and just kind of took it the way it was, without a solid mission 90% of the time. It was just we were just out patrolling as police officers on the streets. There was no difference there. And it came to small sporadic gunfights throughout that duration of the deployment. But April 1st of 2005, we were outside of Naswa Salam, and I was in the gun truck and the turret, and I briefly raised my body to look at the other side of the road, and a triple stack 155 detonated about 3 feet from my truck. And I had a piece of shrapnel that went into the back of my Kevlar and penetrated in the back of my skull.
Damn.
Deadly luck. I was, one of 2 people actually in that truck, because we were actually sweeping. We were just using the truck and the people in it just to look for IDs. Not going to mention name drop any battalion commanders' names, but you know who you are.
No. Hey, dude, if you do
know
that,
who you are.
We will get a lot of hate comments. They hate that man. They absolutely hate him.
Yeah, it just last name rhymes with Neary. Just throwing it out there. Anyways, really similar to Neary.
Awesome.
We were out on patrol that day, and we found what we thought was an ID. Again, that ID went off right beside me. Concussed. My face was smashed up. I was, on the 50 cal, knocked unconscious. I think I woke back up and sent a burst into the city. It was bad. I took off. I went straight to Camp Fallujah Surgical, and took care of the back of my head. Got some sutures and patched up my face, and was just told basically take a nap and just recover. And the next day, April 2nd of 2005, is when the Abu Ghraib prison got attacked, and it was all hell broke loose. And if you can just simply go onto YouTube and type in Abu Ghraib prison attack, and it was chaotic. It was like a 6-7 hour gunfight, exchange and barrage of mortars, machine gun fire, the whole nine. I was in our surgical center, and I just hearing this massive attack going on, I just got out of my bed and just got into our gun truck and we took off on patrol, and that was it. Kept on rolling. Just kind of how we did business. I think a lot of the times too, we didn't realize like the severity of our injuries as well. We weren't really, in tune with what happens in a multitude of, blast and overpressure and all that other stuff. But we got done with that deployment, and throughout the deployment, we supplemented the battalion scout sniper team with machine gunners throughout that deployment, just because of the platoon was quite small, as well as they were just getting a bit overworked, and we were able to supplement inside with them and provide security with them, and I enjoyed that a lot. I thought that was going to be my next move, and it happened to be. So we got back from Fallujah, and I ended up taking the Scout Sniper NDOC. I passed, and
yes, you did.
Went to pre-sniper school, and ended up going to sniper school, and then we took off to Ramadi, Iraq, and that was an eye-opener. First day we were there, we were on top of the government center, which was the Al Anbar Providence Government Center, and we got in like a 9-hour gunfight, shot like 34 people just that day. It was just craziness. We had jets throwing in GBU 38s right on top of the buildings that are about 1,000 meters away from us. It was just absolute chaos in a city. Barrages of machine gun fire, heavy machine gun fire coming at us, mortars coming at us at the government center. And then that day as well too, defending the government center, I think something along the lines of like we went through like an entire battalion supply allotment of ammunition. And just up there during that day, I shot like a law, a small rocket, like
M72
just
law,
everything,
baby.
Everything, just to like defeat this machine gun position that was back there. And then we ended up dropping a bomb on it, but took care of that problem. But throughout that deployment as well too, it was
chaos,
fucking chaos. Like, as a memory and kind of how it resonated through me, this deployment really affected me throughout the rest of the time I was in the Marine Corps too. But our sniper team, I think probably had, our sniper platoon, I think had around a tune to about 315 engagements. Our team, I think, probably had about 115, 120 of those that were, multiple times we go out on missions, we shoot 3 or 4 people and place an ID. Like it was just absolute chaos. But I mean, at the end of the day, like this stuff had to be done, right? They wanted to continue in placing IDs out on the routes that we were patrolling on, and we were there observing them and then killing them. It was that simple. We were very good at our jobs.
Hell yeah, you were.
We shot a lot of people. And it even got to the point there towards the end of the deployment where we were observing, people taking the IEDs out after periods of darkness. Within our rules of engagement, that was, the opportune time to be able to engage that person, dismantling that IED as well too. So it was just chaos. And, there was the attack on OPVA, there was, the naval hospital when we overtook, and the hunt for Zarqawi during that time as well too. Like it was just absolute insane. I think we were just briefly talking about it before we went live here on the podcast, but the hospital insert, we came on Riverine craft that mission, like from
yeah, I saw the boats, man. Yes,
we did an amphibious insert.
So cool.
To get into the backside of the hospital, and then set up in our OP, and then I think we stayed there for like 72 hours. We were in that building to the west side of the hospital. I think your team was there too.
Was that OP Hawk?
I think it was named Hawk after the end of that. But
there's a picture of me on the refrigerator, just like in my Spartan 2 vest, which was not allowed on the third deployment, which I bought out in town. But I look pretty fucking badass. But I'm thin. I'm like 182 pounds. Fucking Tony Carden and Switzer are like in front of me. But like OP Hawk, like I think I saw like the Iraqi help like having sex with a donkey, like one of those nights. It was pretty fucking gross. It was pretty disgusting.
You name it, it was going on at the city.
It was going on.
It was the Wild West. Yeah, we also in our platoon we ended up, being such a threat to the insurgents that were operating in the city of Ramadi that we became quite hunted ourselves as well. And we ended up having one of our sniper teams getting ambushed just on the southern side of this road called Racetrack, where we were observing a major IED intersection. And yeah, it was a bad day. We lost Riley Baker that day, and several members of that team became incapacitated as well too from their exfil. After being engaged by an ambush, they were exfilled and conducted emergency extract with a weapons company. And just right outside of their position, they were hit with an IED. It was obviously placed for them. So like, it was, I mean, that deployment, our platoon ended up having to also engage just that by nature of what was occurring was we had children, very young people in place in IEDs, and it's one of those things where it's like, what do you do in this situation? You let it fly, or you risk someone coming over that IED and risking one of our own lives. It's not an option, right? Like you just got to do what the fuck you got to do. And so I don't take it lightly when I hear of stories from Ramadi, because the truth behind the city, I'm not saying that no one wants to talk about it, but the over embellishment of some of the SEAL teams that would say they were out there doing the things they were doing, they weren't. It's like the real operators inside of that city was 3rd Battalion, 8th Marine infantrymen. And we were there solely to support the infantrymen on the ground. And it was chaotic for everyone. It's not something you just want to really, bring up and agitate it, because it can open up a bit of soreness. I'm comfortable talking about it now, just because of, I've had to talk about it with the shitload of therapists throughout my time as well too. But it was a rough one. There's nothing that's going to top that. Like, period. It's just literally a cat. And we got back from that deployment. I wouldn't say that the scars did much to me, because I think at the time, everyone was so hyped up coming back from that deployment that we were just ready for the next thing. We were, control alt delete. That goes in the back of our brain housing. We got to get ready for the next thing. For the next thing for what that was for us was a meal.
10 months of training.
10 months of training. Yeah, going around and going on a float, and then probably the last group of individuals who want to put on a boat and take lipoports. Because we were just basically ticking time bombs. But we waited.
Getting at every single port.
Every single port. It was bad.
I talked about that last night, man. I mean, the guys that gave the finger to the Royal and Malta. And
bro, I was on fucking mess duty on the ship on that fucking deployment. Everyone got in fucking trouble, dude. Everyone was on doing fucking dishes. I mean, like, you looked around, like, you couldn't breathe right, without getting in trouble. But yeah.
I was late on ship by 2 minutes, and Gunny Scroggins, he wanted to fucking crucify me, and I blamed it on Sergeant Hasnute. I was like, nope, it was his fucking fault, Gunny, his fault. I'm keeping my corporal. You blame him. Fucking snoot.
We got to go.
How are you?
We got to go to some really cool libo ports, though. It was fun. We got back from that, and I executed orders to the Scout Sniper School in Hawaii to instruct. Tim was there for 3 years. And during that period of time, it was just very much ingrained into me just to produce the best thing, to be able to send guys that were really doing forward operations in Afghanistan. And we had some, Dakota Meyer was one of our Scout Sniper students.
Oh shit!
Yeah, we had several other Hawaii infantry battalions that had some pretty chaotic deployments as well too. And it was a pride thing that to create that best Scout Sniper that was out there, but it also we also had that obligation to do so as well too. And I learned a lot more about myself being an instructor and training the craft to knowing what they needed to do as well too. It was really good. I left Scout Sniper School, and actually during that time I got to go to the basic reconnaissance course because we were part of SOI West, and there was an opportunity to go to BRC. I did, and I then got orders back to an infantry battalion for a little bit of time, and then got over to Force Recon and took the NDOC and passed, and spent a majority of the rest of my time at Force Recon and just deploying all throughout, wherever, all throughout the Middle East. And I got my time in Force Recon. It's they're looking at making sure you have all the insert capabilities you have, and get sent to every school that there is. So got the opportunity to become a JTAC, Marine Corps combatant diver, free fall, a breacher, like all that stuff. Like it was like if you can pass it, you're going to it type of thing. And it was just move, study, go into the next school, execute. And it was a lot, and a lot of mature individuals. Were some of the best operators I ever worked with were over at Force Recon. And it was, again, it's always a volunteer organization, just like any of these other top tier units. And if you don't want to be there, you just tell them you don't want to be there and leave. It's that simple. But everyone, for the majority, put in 100% every single day, and it was really cool to be a part of that. But I left Force Recon and got orders to the 1st Expeditionary Operations Training Group, and I was an instructor at Special Operations Training Group, and was the Maritime Interdictions instructor for a very long time, and then the CQB instructor for the MEF for a brief period of time as well too. So that opportunity led to a lot of learning as well too, and learning about maritime interdiction throughout all over the world, GoPlats, gas and oil platforms, and then also boarding of maritime vessels, and I enjoyed that a lot. But left DOTG and went and did a assignment over in the Middle East. It was an exchange with an advisory to the Emirati military for the Presidential Guard reconnaissance team. Did that for about 2.5 years and enjoyed my time. Got to see a different side of the world with a different culture, and being over there for such a long time as well also made me appreciate the Arab culture as well, and understanding them. And it honestly became one of my favorite cultures to be a part of, because they made you feel like family every single time that you were there. And I think maybe a little bit during that time as well too, I was kind of questioning a lot of what we did and the backstory to that, because there's a lot of two sides to this story.
Right.
And also during that time too, I was struggling quite hard with a lot of anxiety as well too, that would just randomly pop up when I'm driving for whatever reason. And again, not knowing anything really, I just kept on pushing forward and kept on going. Well, I came back from that and finally executed orders to 29 Palms and was the reconnaissance advisor for one of the schools that they had. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a big, this is during COVID time as well too. There wasn't really much going on, just to be honest with you. But it was in the small period of time that I was transitioning my career time and trying to be the most impactful Marine that I could be. Chose to become a first sergeant, with aspirations to eventually be back in the infantry. And lo and behold, being over there already in 29 Palms, I was able to get over there quite quickly. Went straight to infantry battalion 27 and realized 27 realized real quick that the infantry wasn't the infantry like you and I knew. It's just a different breed. And I did a deployment with them as well to Okinawa, Japan, on a UDP.
Okay, yeah.
And I came back from that deployment really at probably my worst state in my mental capacity, and really kind of had a significant breakdown, and actually suffered from a seizure that was unpronounced, and got my MRI and pretty much told like, hey, like what the fuck happened up there? And my command then in turn sent me to Wounded Warrior Battalion, and which I ended up and finishing up my time over at Wounded Warrior Battalion West, and really started my healing process. And, I guess a few things to that, there was very, very traumatic stuff that was going on upstairs. I had unsolved issues from my blast injury back in 2005. I ended up I had 2 major fractures in my orbicle, and my nose, my septum was bent. They had to go back and rework basically the way that you're supposed to breathe, and ended up getting back with facial reconstructive surgery from that, and ultimately turning my life around, with lots of different therapies, and seeing an amazing psychiatry team, and getting back onto my feet, and understanding, some of the issues and what they were caused by. And it was kind of eluding me, to this calling. And I didn't know exactly what it was at the time. But my brother, who was with 1st Battalion 9th Marines as a scout sniper,
That's right, he was.
April 1st of this past year, ended up finding out that he ended his life. And I just stopped life, really thought about what is the reason, the why. And, just took a walk, went outside and just stood amongst the stars and realized this is it. Having, even if it's something as simple as getting listeners onto a podcast, making them feel like they're part of something, it's something, right?
Yes.
But we struggle so hard as a veteran community, realizing the why and the purpose of our life when we get out. And the reason behind that is because we've given so much during that time. It just feels like a major disconnect when you depart. And
True.
with that departure, I think a lot of things happen. Distance creates a bunch of uncertainty. There's substance that can help with a lot of temporary pain resolvement. But there's no real meaning to any of it if you don't understand who you actually are as a person. What's your own brand? What do you carry, your worth, and why you're here on this earth? Because it wasn't the military. That short period of your time when you served, that 15 minute, 20 minutes, whatever that was, that means absolutely nothing to me, because it's why I'm here on this earth at the moment, is to help others find themselves. that really resonated in me quite heavily. And I was talking to my partner, and we just decided that this organization is going to be that thing. And Wildwood Expedition, at the time we were this vision was kind of stuck to what it would be for other people as well too. And I've kind of just backdated my recovery process and realized some of the most relaxing and peaceful times that I had during that time was outdoors in nature. And that's really what fixed me, what made me the way that I become now, and made me understand so much more about myself as well too. And we founded Wildwood Expedition. We raised funds. We got a organizational team together. Our board of directors is consists of other special operators, actually some guys that were in my brother's platoon as well too, which is great to have them. It gives them purpose. It gives them a bit of a drive for this. And then we also have another service member who's on our board as well too, James Welch, who's actually going through the recovery process himself. So we're at Wounded Warrior Battalion West. So like
Johnny Welch?
Yeah, Welch. Why did I think you wouldn't know Welch? Yeah,
What
so
the-
Welch,
Dude,
Welch is on our board.
I did his MCIs, man. I got him pinned on because I did
Master
all
Sergeant
his
Welch, huh?
MCIs in 2006.
Right.
Damn, Gunny Welch. Holy shit.
Yeah. So we got a great team, and we got a great team that's
I had
composed
no
of
idea
people.
Gunny Welch was part of your team. That's awesome.
Yeah. We got a great team of people that want to be there, want to change. The reason that veterans are getting out and feeling so lost, and we want to bring them together over the campfire, over through nature, and let them find themselves, and let a lot of nature do the recovery process for them. It's quite simple. We also just got back from the Psychedelic Science Conference as well too, and there's currently a lot of research being done through the veteran community of the psychedelic use and how that can help transform, people that are recovering from PTSD and even TBIs as well too. There's just so much we don't understand about the brain at the moment. And that's where we're at. So we're putting together expeditions for veterans that consist of about 3 to 5 days, and we disconnect and bring them out, and we do mountain biking, hiking, off-roading, and just let them enjoy themselves. And once they get back from that, they become part of the Wildwood alumni, and they're part of the team. They're able to come to our, actually any veteran that is listening comes to our Wildwood Wednesday campfire chats that we have. If you follow us on Wildwood Expedition, you're going to see that link inside of that. It's wildwood.expedition.org, or just, for Instagram, wildwood.expedition.
Don't
Wildwood
worry, Fleek is looking it up right now. He's going to
You
send
guys
it
can
out
put
with
it on.
us. Yeah.
Wildwoodexpedition.org is all one word. And it's not to one up or anyone, but I think one thing that veterans need to understand is that there's always someone that has a story that's just as equal to yours.
Yep.
In some comparison, someone can learn from your story. And there's nothing to be boastful. There's nothing to be if humble about. Like, just be blunt and honest and tell your story, and tell how you got better. And anything that you do, anything that you've done during your process as well too, helps them out so much in their recovery process. And right now, I think we use mental health a lot as a crutch, and we use other things as a crutch. I would be completely honest with you, during my recovery process right now, those medications and those psychiatry visits at the time, I thought that those were just going to fix everything, and they absolutely don't. They don't do any of that. You have to understand yourself prior to, some of them may help, but you may have to understand yourself and what you want to be, and the future, and how that influences others. But that's it in a nutshell.
I totally empathize with you because, I don't know if you saw my Facebooks for the past 15 years, but I was fucked up. I didn't do as much time as you did, but Ramadi and Karma really fucked me up. 2 DUIs, raging alcoholic. Actually, this month, 7 years sober.
Awesome, man. Congratulations.
And you're totally right. Like, tell people how you got help, how you got better. And you and I, we share a very similar path for a little bit. I didn't know where I was going. After I got out in 2008, I was the same way. I was like, I reached for the bottle. It was really good at numbing the pain. I went to Save a Warrior. I did Outward Bound for Veterans. I did all these programs, and I just found out about myself, and I did exactly what you are trying to do for future veterans. And I didn't even know you were doing this, and enough was enough. Like, I got down on my knees and I prayed. I was like, what am I doing? And for a long time, after I got better,
I think, Andrew, one of the things too is, I think it's very easy to misjudge your own worth.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's very easy to, classify yourself as just that person that just needs to hide away in the shadows, and you would be of no influence to anyone else because everyone thinks that you're an absolute loser, alcoholic, to put the title on it, whatever it is. Here's the thing. Your worth, when you find that, is going to be astonishing. All right? Because it'll impact people. Every person that was a veteran at one point in time wanted to impact people. They wanted to be that individual, that service member that wore that uniform with pride, represented their country as a giver, as a protector. Well, listen, that person still has that in them, or they wouldn't have done that in the past. It's that simple to understand, but it won't happen until you can see that worth.
Yep. No, dude, Brandon, you're totally right. It took me 11 years to figure my shit out. It did. And now I get to have conversations with you and with Fleek and with all these other veterans that we've interviewed, and it's just I feel happy. I feel like I'm at the place where I'm supposed to be. It just took a fuckload of time to figure out where the fuck my puzzle piece fits into the plan.
I'll kind of leave it at this as well too. Like, we have grown so much in a short period of time when it comes to understanding the brain and also mental health. Okay, as I was discussing earlier, for April 1st of 2005, if that same exact blast injury occurred now on the battlefield, I would be sent off to go get an MRI. I would be getting concussion evaluation. There would be a multitude of things happening. You know, it was just, the same as just seeing stars after a large footballing crash. Like we just don't understand. Like, we didn't understand what overpressure did to the human brain. And we fast forward right now, we also have a better understanding of how to help and manage some patients that are overcoming symptoms of PTSD and anxiety as well too. I think for a long period of time, our brothers and sisters that went before us, were able to join in forces together, right, and create organizations. And I preface this right now: I'm not digging in on these organizations; they are what they are. But like, they were able to come to in organizations like the VFW, and like, let's get real here. Like the VFW, that entire organization is centered around the bar. Like that's how they're bringing in their income. That's how they bring in everything else. And at the time, it worked for individuals, but it's not the substance to be able to add to that service member that's going through that, because all it's doing is numbing that. And with the numbing, it also creates distance, and that distance creates horrible patterns.
Fleek, you hear that?
100%.
Wow.
Hey, Brandon, when you are you still? When's the last time you had like an anxiety attack? Are they still coming up?
No. So I ended up having a with my TBI, I found out that I was overcoming a major GABA deficiency. I ended up getting prescribed a medication called gabapentin, and I was using it as an off-label usage for pain management and also my anxiety symptoms. The day I took gabapentin, I was like, boom, what the hell is this? Like, why is my brain not working? Like, why am I not just anticipating the anxiety attack? To answer your question, Richard, the last time I had an anxiety attack, a true anxiety attack, was probably back right before I had my major incident, what brought me over to Wounded Warrior Battalion. And reducing substance away from that and becoming sober completely. And I can look back at that and also correlate a lot of what was going on to the use of alcohol. And, the more research that I've done as well too, like, we grab a drink, after that first drink, we have, increases of serotonin and dopamine. And it's not the issue of the increase of serotonin and dopamine, but it's how quickly that gets dumped during that time, and we have to recoup to try to get back to where we were at. And it just becomes exactly that. It's just drink after drink after drink, and it's hard to manage. And I was masking my anxiety symptoms with that. It was the only thing that was helping. I guess the best thing, again, I'm not a licensed physician. I've just been in the system way too long. But the best thing I can tell service members is to go out and get help. Like, go out and get help. We dog on the Veterans Affairs office and the Veterans Affairs medical office. But, and when I was at the Psychedelic Science Conference, and it was brought to my attention that over 88% of all physicians that practice throughout the United States of America spend some time at the Department of Veteran Affairs as they're going through residency or wherever that's at. And there's some great people there. And guess what? If you don't like your psychiatrist, the psychologist that you're talking to, get another one. Okay? You got to be dedicated. Like, just going there isn't going to be the fix. You got to be willing to get the help.
Yeah, you got to put the time
and do the work.
Do the work.
That's right.
And do the work. And then understand during that time, in that recovery process, it takes time. It takes a support network. And it also takes a dispatch of what you had. There's also, when you were going through that shit, like, it's really easy to adapt and grab people of like-minded individuals that are also overcoming that those people you'll see just start dropping from your network. And that's the only way you get to the top.
So true.
And
so true.
If you don't get rid of those toxic people, like, you never will recover either, because all they want is
rackets.
To be a leech.
That's
To
rackets.
is
Get rid of the
going on with
rackets.
you.
Yeah.
Perfect, Brandon. Brandon, now how long you been? I mean, I've been sober 7. How long you been sober now? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, no, it's a good question because I've even kind of forgot. But I think since December of 22.
Whoa.
Yeah,
3 years.
it's December of
um,
22.
Did you go to the rooms? Did you do room stuff? Did you big book
Yes.
stuff? I mean,
Yeah, no. So I guess that's another point. I'm like completely missing out. So I had to do like an intensive inpatient treatment at
okay.
this facility called Aurora. Like, I'll tell you what, like it helped. And like there was psychiatrists like that were in practice for like 30 years that were like walking out of the room crying. Like it was like very, very bad shit. Like having to explain to them like what was going on. Like we get it. It's
Yeah.
they were understanding. And no doubt, like in that inpatient treatment facility that I went into, like it was rough adapting to because that's just not my environment. But it created a gap and also medically assisted me to become sober. I got out of that facility probably within a week. I relapsed. Like I had a couple drinks. Then it just took like intuitive action to understand like I'm back, but I'm not that far back. This is it though. I'm done. And it just hadn't touched it since.
Okay.
But
Good for you. No, that's great.
It's different for everyone. But there's no you shouldn't be scared to get help. You should be there knowing that the system, regardless of what type of system you're into, it's something, but it's
Yeah.
going to be there to help you.
Well said, man. Oh my God. Well said. Well said. Wow.
And also like one thing I understood as well too after really my recovery process is like it doesn't matter, right? Like my level of PTSD and anxiety that I was going through from a medical classification scale was probably like up here. Like a 12-year-old girl that witnessed a car crash is, and as far as the spectrum might be down here, but guess what? The body itself reacts to it the exact same way. Okay.
Exactly.
There's no difference there. And, the levels of recovery that I had were, I thought that was going to be too much, but it's not. It's all the same. Okay. Your problem's correctable. Your problem that you just don't want it to be correctable because deep down inside, you haven't valued your own worth to society.
There it is.
Yeah.
Right there.
So, with all the carnage that you saw in your Marine Corps time, I'm assuming I'm just going to assume here, you compartmentalized it. I'm just going to take this and put it in this bucket over here. How healthy do you think that is, stowing it away? Did you have to bring it up, face to face, or you just leave it back there?
Yeah, good question, Richard. So like during that process of recovery, there's different types of therapy that you can go into, and there's cognitive behavioral therapy, and one of those things that it focuses on is processing by design what's making you think of it. So of course some of the stuff had to be brought back up again, and it didn't work, right? You know in the Cliff Notes version of this, I think that you have to segment chapters in your own personal life, and you understand that chapter 3 is in your bookshelf. It can come out at any time, and it can come out. It's the way that it come out is how that we view that text from chapter 3. Are we going to bring it back and just throw away all of the things that we did to make ourselves a better person? Or can we look at it as a period of our life that should be inspiring to others, that you overcame that? because it's not hard. It really isn't. It's not difficult. And a lot of people think it is, but there is so much more impact you can have to society and to this earth if you can do that. And understand that your own worth is way greater than what happened in chapter 3.
Man, Jake Clark would love you. He would love to watch this episode. And Jake is the founder of Save a Warrior. He talks about that stuff. Know your worth. I mean, that's why I smiled when you said know your worth, because I heard that 5 years ago, and I'm like, wait a minute, has he been reading Joseph Campbell? Like, what's going on here? Like, the hero's journey? What? I mean, Brandon, you are saying some stuff that people really, really, really need to hear, because it's hard. It really is hard for people to get up and go ask for help. I mean, that's the first step right there. You need to look inside yourself and like, oh, maybe I need some help. Maybe I need to go to talk to someone. Maybe I need to go to therapy. Maybe I need to do group therapy. Maybe I need to do EMDR. Maybe I need to do exposure therapy or something, which I've tried all of those modalities, and they're great. Just, and like you said, not everything will work like it's supposed to. I mean, if you add those on, they definitely help. Wouldn't you agree that? Like,
yeah, you're not going to even walk out of a therapy session feeling good about yourself, like you accomplished it. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't happen. And
No.
like the therapies that you have to understand. Like, again, like we're so young to understand the human mind and the brain and what is really going on upstairs, right? Like. There's a lot. I'm going to bring up one last thing, okay?
Sure.
80% of all serotonin is derived from the gut, okay? The human body's digestive system. So, like, your body fixing yourself upstairs, it has to come from everywhere. It's eating clean. It's understanding that, sleep, exactly, what you're putting in your body, understanding that alcohol is a fucking poison. Like, it's the worst fucking drug out there, like, period. Like, it's so socially acceptable, right, to go out
everywhere.
and have drinks, but you have to understand that it's the worst drug out there. Once you take care of your body will take care of your mind, and once your mind is clean, you can help others. And again, as we said this earlier, like, every veteran wants to do something for someone else, or you wouldn't have signed the contract to begin with. So, like, you've already proven to yourself that. Find community and find others that you want to be a part of, and they will help you. Join in on our group sessions where there's not topics out there. We're coming around talking around the campfire on digital form. And say as much as you want to, say as little as you want to, but understand, like, the audience that you're looking at is other people that want to help you.
Yeah.
And once you find your healing, you're going to feel the exact same way, wanting to help others. And it's so amazing.
Oh, dude. And I know you got like 50 minutes before you have to do this. No, yeah, I'm looking at my watch.
We're good.
I'm keeping the time for Sergeant. Don't worry. But okay, now, Fleek, is it okay if I ask him the stuff? Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Pick a number between 1 and 10, Brandon, and please don't pick number 7.
Oh, 3.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good one. Okay, your question, number 3. How did your military experience influence your perspective on life and adversity?
Good question. I think.
Fleek, good question.
I think my military experience, for one, gave me purpose, and in a lot of ways, because they're, without a doubt, probably 1,500, 2,000 close encounters of where I should be dead. So my time here on the earth is meant to be. It's not like it's a plausible thing. Like I'm designed by someone upstairs to be here. And it's that period of, you know, what Dakota Meyer has said as well too. And it's called Own the Dash, you know. It's the period of, you know, birth to death and what's in between, that dash right there, and taking ownership of it. And, you know, for me, you know, especially after recent events, you know, it was inspired to reach out, share my story, and help others. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Dude, Richard, write that down. That's one for the book, for the cookbook, for the next one. But, yeah, dude, seriously, that was spot on. Amazing. You are an amazing individual. I am proud. I'm honored to know you as a person, because I remember, and then I'm going to say this one last thing. I remember in Karma, I think we were like on a patrol together, and I'm like, we're both like young, whatever, PFCs. I don't even know what we were, but like, I just can't believe like how nice you were to me when we were patrolling some backwoods country village in Karma. And I'm like, I really like this guy. He's really cool. And like, I was saying to myself, wow, he's so much better than White. White's an asshole.
No, I think of the probably the happiness and excitement probably just came from not getting blown up. But
oh, dude, you were stellar, and you had a great career. We're so honored to have you on this podcast, and I will be donating to Wild Expeditions probably in the next 2 hours.
Awesome, man. I do
I want a
appreciate
t-shirt.
it. Yeah, I think we're gonna be dropping a bunch more merch here soon. And you know, we're looking at you know, fundraising to get veterans out, and you know, we want them to be out on a, you know, basically an all trips paid type of retreat that they can call back and call you know, family, and a place where they can allow for nature to heal themselves. So
okay, I got a deal for you, man. I'm running another dive trip. We had one this year 2 weeks ago. We paid it forward. We took three veterans, Air Force, Marine, and a recon guy, and me, just a little line company machine gunner. We all went diving, Panama City. My fraternity brother, he owns a dive shop. Next year, I'm taking. I've already got one guy already signed up, Philip Prosco. You probably remember Philip. Remember Prosco?
I think so.
He's already signed up for it. You, my friend, will be the second person if you want to go for an all-inclusive dive adventure in Panama City. Just get me on one of your wild adventures, and you can do one of my wild adventures. How about that? Is that a deal?
I'm down.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Bring a rebreather and a full face, and we'll be good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a system I hated diving.
Really? You hated the rebreather?
It sucks.
Is it it's the one you wear in your chest, right?
It's full 100% oxygen system, and it's like a third lung. It just continuously tries to scrub out.
It's a continuous
CO2.
loop. Now,
It's not fun.
for the divers that are diving now, like I've seen it, it's on the back now, but it's way better than what's it called? A drigger?
Dragger.
Dragger.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Do you still dive, by the way?
So after my military dive experience, it's taken pretty much all things diving related out of my brain. I don't do it.
Okay.
I mean, even living out here in California, there's some great places to dive. It's just never one of those things that's like, oh, I used to dive for fun, recreationally, and the Marine Corps took that away from me.
Okay,
It's no longer
I
fun.
promise this is gonna be like
Oh,
totally fun.
I'm sure. Panama City Beach will give me fucking PTSD. We was
Dude.
out there in November at dive school. It's fucking frigid.
Yeah, dude, the dive shop is right across the way from NSA Panama City, where you guys probably got harassed. And I've seen the YouTube videos of like your dive training. I would die. They would have to resuscitate me every single time.
It is
Nope, I couldn't do it. No way. Nope.
not fun.
The brick thing, I mean, dude, the only times I used a brick was when I went through lifeguard training. Okay? And that was one brick, and I had to go get it and bring it up. And that was it. Okay? That's the brick I had to use.
Yeah, we just.
But I give you guys a lot of props. I actually was just talking to one of the Ramadi SEALs via Facebook today, asking him for swimming, like how can I be a better swimmer? And he's like, well, he gave me some tips, but he was one of Jocko's platoon commanders in Ramadi with us, and I gave him the same thing. I gave you guys props for all the hard shit that you had to go through for training. I mean, that's just crazy.
Dive school sucked.
But I know you have to go. I know you've got to get ready for your thing.
We're going to get on it here in a bit. Yeah.
But hey,
thank you guys
Brandon.
so much for having me.
Thank
it
you,
was
man.
a pleasure. Thank you,
Hey,
sir.
check out Wild Expeditions. all right?
Wildwood Expeditions. Wildwood.expedition is our Instagram handle, and wildwoodexpedition.org is our website.
And this episode will
Not the Sunday,
yeah.
the following Sunday.
following Sunday. So I'm going to make a post about it. So right
Awesome.
after we get done. So and then I'm going to fix dinner. Then I'm going to jump back on. So Brandon,
Same,
thank you, man.
but different.
Namaste, dude. Namaste.
All right. Stick around for 1 second. I want to make sure you upload. All right. Peace out.
Peace out, guys.